Yes, what's up? It's your boy Docsta from Soul Jettison, souljettison.com. You are locked into a Moonbombing Media production. Welcome to the Mad Note. In the house today, I have one of my favorite voices in Louisiana, Mr. Cleve in the house. What's up, man?
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing good. Thanks for pulling up, man. Thank you for pulling up. Yes, indeed. So tell us about the name, Cleve.v. What is it?
Well, my name is Cleveland. That's my government name.
Cleveland, all right.
And for a long time, I always went by Cleveland, but I actually adopted that name from my dad, who was a senior to my junior.
Hey.
So I'm actually a junior, little do people know.
Hey, me
but
too.
My dad was well known for his name, Cleve. He was a drummer and sound engineer in New Orleans. He did really great work. And I just kind of took that name on as a stage name and created a persona around it, and that's how we're here now. So yeah.
Really? So you say your dad did sound in New Orleans? What is there any clubs or anything that we would recognize? Or
He did festivals.
Did
he was a drummer for Greater St. Stephen's. He worked with Gina Brown and so many other things, honestly. So he traveled around the world to play. He actually, I remember this is when Solange got married. He was running sound for the reception, and he called, even though I'm sure he probably shouldn't have had his phone then, but he called and was like, "Look where I am," and I was like, "Oh my God, he's at Solange's wedding." So he's done some really great work. So many to name, but I would say that his work with Gina Brown is definitely something that stuck out to me because I got to see it for myself, and I got to see how they work together and how their chemistry and their relationship. So,
was your dad a musician also?
He was a drummer. Yeah, so he was a drummer.
A drummer.
Played for a lot of churches, and like I said, Gina Brown. That was where he was more commonly known, or who he played more with. They played a lot.
I'm not really familiar with Gina Brown. Is she local? What kind of music?
I would say she was a very soulful artist. She passed away about a year or two ago.
Okay.
But she was a radio personality as well in New Orleans. I definitely say do some research on her. She had a great impact on me, on other artists as well. One of my sisters in music, Timony, that was one person that she looked up to, and she has some really great tidbits and things that she can offer you as far as how to navigate yourself. So she was a pioneer in New Orleans for musicians and artists and making spaces and giving opportunities. I did not have the pleasure of being able to work with her as hands-on as I would have liked to, of course, due to timing, and she did pass away, but yes, she definitely made an impact on a lot of artists, on my dad, and he made an impact on me, whether he knew it or not, with his music and me just watching him in his mode and his zone. And he actually did sound for one of my shows when I was producing shows in high school. I had a glee club in high school. It was the first glee club that we have. And ironically, it wasn't ideally based on the show Glee Club, but our school was McKinley High School as well, which just exactly like the show.
My son graduated from McKinley.
All right, let's go, Panthers. So it was just amazing to see him in his element, whether he was working for a church or even doing production and sound from me and my shows. And honestly, when I'm on stage, I think I'm like, man, he would be so proud of everything that I'm doing right now. And I know he would be literally fanning out right now. He would make sure he had sound running for every show. That's just how he was. But yeah, I always say the crazy man.
So did you get to play with him anytime when he was drumming and you were singing?
No, I didn't. No, I think there was one time that he played drums, and it was just when we were doing sound check for one of my shows. But we never actually got to play with each other on a gig. But he would not pass the opportunity. If I needed him, he would be there. But there was his bass player that they played in a band together, Marcus. I did get a chance to play with him on the set after my dad passed. So it kind of felt, like I had him with me. But he's always, I'm always like, he's here. He's making sure the sound is good. He's making sure the drummer's on point.
Right. He planted that seed.
He's planting the seed. So yeah, he would be literally, like I said, fanning out right now. He was like, "That's my son."
Yeah. So what kind of music did he play?
He played R&B. He played like I said, he played for the church. He played for different blues artists as well. So
who was his favorite? Who would you say was his favorite artist? Does he have a favorite artist or band?
Me and my sister actually were having this conversation just about 2 days ago. Actually, no, today. We just had this conversation, so it's ironic that came up. We don't know. We don't know because we would get in the car and he would be watching movies. This was like back in the day when everybody had the screens in their cars and you could watch movies in your car and everything. And so, yeah, we were talking about that literally today. We were like, who did he listen to? But he normally would listen to whoever he was playing for, whatever songs they had to play on a gig. So there would be times where you would hear certain things, a different live album. I can kind of hear it in the back of my mind, but could I tell you who he was listening to? I could not. But I can hear it. I can hear it in the back of my mind now, like when he would listen to those live albums before going to a gig or when we're on the way to go set up equipment somewhere. Because one thing about my dad, he was gonna spend time with his kids, but he was working.
Right.
I was like, can we go do something else? But it gave me the opportunity, and at the time I didn't recognize or I didn't appreciate that because I was just like, I don't want to be here doing this. But I was like, I should have been paying a little bit more attention because I could have learned a lot.
Well, subconsciously, you might have learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I did. Mental memory. Yeah.
Just listen to you sing. Like, all of it can't just be natural. You have to have heard a song here or there that you tried to sing. I've seen you sing a lot of covers and stuff. You really crush them. So when you're singing covers, like when you're not singing your own music. Like, who do you like to cover the most? Who's your favorite to cover?
Man. That's a hard one because I like so many artists, and it really also depends on where I am in that time. But one song that has stuck is X Factor. I love that song. And it's going to probably be on just about every set. I try so hard not to put it on the set list sometimes, but I love singing X Factor because it speaks to me in so many different ways. I was singing it last night and I got lost in the sauce and I was like, I'm sorry.
But so this is gonna kind of sound crazy. I'm not a vocalist like that, but for me, like the best female vocalist is number 1 Whitney Houston, number 2 is Lauryn Hill. Like just I don't know, it's something about Lauren's voice that just
so soulful.
Oh my God,
it just pulls you in. I have a lot of favorite artists. When people ask me, I'm just like, oh. But I remember, and this is childhood memory. Like, I remember I was in the car with my godfather. I'm unlocking memories here, and the first album or the first artist that literally just explains my whole childhood is Dangerously in Love, Beyonce. That whole album, my godfather, I would get in the car and I think he just knew that that's what I would listen to, or like, that's what I wanted to hear. And I heard Crazy in Love for the first time. And, of course the is very addictive, but it was immediately then I just fell in love with Beyonce. Like I heard that, and then it was Baby Boy. And I didn't know anything about that music at the time. I was still fairly young to be listening to Baby Boy or even singing anything like that. But Beyonce was, since day one, like she is embedded into my memory. So I'm like, I will never ever like forget hearing that album and getting in the car or with my godfather. Like I would look forward to hearing it, getting in the car with him. Like I was like, I hope he has the CD. I hope he still has it. And I remember the first song that I sang, and my mom probably has different stories, but this is the first song that I sang was "If I Ain't Got You" by Alicia Keys. So I was a really
Ooh.
big Alicia Keys, John Legend
Ooh,
fan
Alicia
at the
Keys, yeah.
time. So